Hello everyone, welcome to this short session. This session is about sharing a skill in first aid, a skill that could be of use to you or your family members or your workmates or your friends, either at home or at the workplace or in social gatherings, the day that social gatherings will be allowed again. We want to share a skill specifically on CPR. And the CPR that we are going to be sharing today, the CPR skill that we're going to be sharing today is hands-only CPR. What is CPR in full is cardiopulmonary resuscitation. My name is Andrew Wanjohi from St. John Ambulance. I'm a first aid instructor, and welcome to this segment. Now, for every casualty that you come across, there is something that you must do. You must conduct a primary assessment or a primary survey. Now, a primary survey consists of 5 simple steps. Dr. ABC. What does Dr. ABC stand for? Checking for danger. See whether the scene is safe. Then check whether the casualty is responding. Does the casualty answer questions? Is the casualty talking to you? Does the casualty hear you? Or do they respond to pain? Then opening the airway. How do we open the airway? I'm going to show you that in a few seconds. And then check whether your casualty is breathing. And if they're not breathing, what are you going to do next? And then also confirm that the casualty has a pulse. So let's get into it in the skill aspect of checking for your casualty. Now, the first thing that we need to do in terms of danger here is we get a pair of gloves. So I'm going to get my first aid kit. In my first aid kit, the first thing that I get out of my first aid kit is a pair of gloves. I get out my pair of gloves. I wear my pair of gloves very quickly. Put on my pair of gloves. Once I do put on my pair of gloves, in this day and age, it is very important that you also cover your face and the nose with a mask. So I'm going to pick my face mask, put on my face mask, and now I am good to go. I'm able to conduct a primary assessment on my casualty. What I'm going to do is, I've dealt with the danger part, then I'm going to check for response. Hello? Hello? Hello, can you hear me? Open your eyes if you can hear me. Open your eyes if you can hear me. Then I pinch their ears to see whether they do respond to pain. My casualty is not responding, so my casualty is unresponsive. At this moment, I'm going to check the casualty's airway and make sure that the airway is open and clear. This I do by placing my hand on the forehead, and then these other 2 fingers, I place them under the chin and tilt the head back as I gently lift the chin. Here, what we're trying to achieve is, we're trying to achieve that the tongue doesn't fall back to block the airway. I'm just going to lift the tongue away from the airway to ensure that the airway is clear. Now, the next step is checking whether the casualty is breathing. How do I check whether the casualty is breathing? By assessing the rise and the fall of the chest. How do I assess the rise and the fall of the chest? By just looking at it. Because when you do breathe in, the air goes into the lungs and your chest rises. And then when the casualty breathes out, the chest should go down. So I'm going to do this for around 10 seconds. I do this for 10 seconds. At the same time, I also check for circulation in terms of pulse. I'm going to check at the neck of the casualty, on either side, and then observe for 10 seconds to see whether the casualty is breathing and the heart is beating. So I do that for 10 seconds. My casualty is not breathing and the heart is not pumping. So my casualty has gone into a state that we call cardiac arrest. So if my casualty is in cardiac arrest, I will need urgent medical help. And this is at this moment, you're going to send someone for help. So I'm going to call my colleague and tell them, please go Call for an ambulance, call St. John Ambulance. The numbers are on your screen. Call St. John Ambulance, and you're going to be able to tell them that I have a casualty who is not breathing, so I have started CPR and please come and assist. So at this moment, I want to start hands-only CPR. So the first thing that you're going to do, you're going to cover your casualty's mouth with a piece of cloth, mouth and nose. Make sure that the mouth and nose are covered, and then you're going to locate the center of the chest. Make sure that you have a good angle. Make sure that you have a good angle. Your shoulders are directly above the casualty's chest. So you locate the center of the chest, interlock your hands, and then you're going to begin chest compressions. This is what we call hands-only CPR. You're going to do this at a rate of 100 to 120 chest compressions per minute, or to the tune of the song Staying Alive. So let's go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. So you're going to continue with that hands-only CPR. You're going to continue with hands-only CPR until help arrives or until the casualty starts to breathe on their own. So that is how basically you're going to conduct that particular skill. So you're going to do that again, I repeat, going to do that until help arrives or until the casualty starts to breathe on their own. How will you notice that the casualty has started to breathe on their own? They may cough. The moment maybe you do a chest compression, you may hear the casualty cough. And that is an indicator that the casualty has started to breathe on their own. So remember, conduct a primary survey, Dr. ABC, check for danger, check for response, open the airway, check whether the casualty is breathing and pulse is present. If you find that the casualty is not breathing and pulse is absent, call for help immediately, St. John Ambulance. The numbers are 0721 225 285. That is the emergency line for St. John Ambulance. Available to you 24 hours a day. Once you call for help, begin hands-only CPR. Always ensure that you keep safe. Put on your gloves, put on your face mask, cover the casualty's nose and mouth with a piece of cloth. And thank you very much.